A weather front is a boundary between two air masses that have different properties such as temperature and humidity. When warm air moves into cold air, this is called a warm front. That warm air is less dense than the cold air, so it floats up and over the cold air and then spreads out like a blanket of clouds. We associate this weather with light, gentle rains and that take up much of the day, like when you have an all-day rainy day. There's nothing that's like strong winds. The winds are fairly calm, not intense, and it's just kind of a drizzly, cloudy day. Because the warm air floats up and over the cold air, it actually doesn't feel warm until after the entire rain showers system passes. And then the warm air completely moves in and the temperature actually goes up. While it's raining, it still stays pretty cool. Well, with this particular warm front weather system coming through, you could see how we had relatively lower temperatures, but then you could see the temperatures actually start increasing on the latter half of the day. For the first half of the day, we can see that there's just kind of that constant rain that's occurring from morning until around lunchtime for half of the day. Just a light drizzle, intermittent rain, the kind of rain that you would curl up and read a good book and watch it outside of the window. And the winds aren't particularly strong, and you can see that it's just very low winds that are occurring during this drizzly rain for half the day. This is pretty indicative of your typical warm front.
From what they tell me, this is a cold front, meaning the cold air, because it's more dense, has wedged itself underneath the warm air, causing a very strong updraft. Earlier today, it was sunny and clear, and everything was nice. There's some puffy clouds in the sky, but then this cold air mass came in, and the pressure very suddenly dropped, and we had this strong updraft that caused some columns of tall clouds with storms underneath them to come in. And then we've had strong winds all day, and then we've had strong winds all through this, and some very heavy rain, and even some hail and some lightning. I've seen lots of lightning, but they assure me that this will end very shortly, that it is a very sharp line of storms that will end very quickly, just as fast as they started. That ended just as fast as it started. Now it's real nice, looking sunny, pressure's starting to climb again and starting to dry out. And there's a beautiful sunset. Look at that, a rainbow. Wow. As you can see, before the storm came, we've had some gusty winds all day long, but then it was warm and humid all the way through. You can see the temperature nice and high, no rain coming. All of a sudden, boom, we had this very short, intense period of rain, high winds, and then the temperature cools off as that cold air moves in. This was a typical cold front.
Hey, check it out. Double
Wow.
rainbow.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here at South.
Yeah. So that covers our two types of fronts, our two main types of fronts, warm fronts and cold fronts.
But there's actually other types of fronts that we didn't cover in this video, since weather is pretty complicated.
That's right.
But that's okay. I think that the video about warm fronts and cold fronts will cover a lot of the weather that you see.
Especially here in Illinois.